Welcome to 144000teachers.org, the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. We would like to welcome you and also give you a further understanding of who we are at 144,000 teachers. In order for you to understand the value of being trained with 144,000 teachers, it is very important that you realize that who we are is a business school where we offer training as a school of health based on the principle of true education and a unique lifestyle business opportunity. The school is for preparing for now and for eternity, which is the 144000teachers.org. If you have been looking for a business opportunity which offers a unique and complete training as a lifestyle counselor and lifestyle educator, this is where you need to join the team at Way of Life School of Health and Natural Remedies. And this is where also we're offering lifestyle counselor, lifestyle educator certificates, and opening a field of business opportunity to set up and manage vegan restaurants and health centers as agent on the Way of Life Association Incorporated, Association Mode de Vie Incorporated, or completely independent from Way of Life. We are wanting to also make it clear who we are not. We are not a church. We are not a program. We have actually established ourselves for a number of years now, close to 41 years, and we know for a fact that this is what is misunderstood. So when you register with Way of Life to take the training at 144000teachers.org, you are not becoming a member of a church. We are not a church. We are a school and registers as such. And what we encourage you also to find out is that we have a mighty movement established in mind. And we understand from medical ministry, page 331, that when the cities are worked as God would have them, the result will be the setting in operation of a mighty movement such as we have not yet witnessed. So following the blueprint, this is why we're confident that this program can accomplish this purpose. But in order also to want to register with the program of 144,000 teachers, when we say the program, it's the whole curriculum. You will need to also evaluate the fact that it is not a Bible school. It is not, as we mentioned already, a church. It is not just a program to give you a certificate and now what do you do with it? What we established through our school is a strategic planning, which you find among those sections here, and more specifically, section number 12. And so as we show you now, this particular strategic planning, we really hope and pray that you will understand in its full value. You can actually look at it from the video point of view here. And also each time we have a further presentation of the program, especially in this section 12 here, we give you a strategic planning. In this case here, it's for different countries, and we have established it for 5 years basis. So you may want to look at the strategic planning, and you may want to understand further, both from the point of view of the audio and with the video, but also here we have a PDF, and you will do well to understand what it's all about. The first one that we're showing here is based in Africa. And the people who have been working with this project right now for a number of years, we know that they are following the pattern that has been established, which was taken from the writing of the Spirit of Prophecy, and also through our school, Way of Life School of Health and Natural Remedies. And this is not the first time we have established it in a different country. And we encourage you to read it. It is definitely a strategic planning. It has been written professionally. It talks about business and also our vision, mission, strategic outcomes, strategic priorities and goals, and also resource allocation. And it's a very business-oriented program. So if any of you who are interested into our program and are expecting, or our school expecting just a program to sit on after you have been trained, or even attempt to train others and you have not done it yourself, you will completely miss out on what is the purpose of our 144000teachers.org school. The whole context actually is based on this particular quote that you will find on Council on Health, page 506, from Mrs. Ellen G. White. As religious aggression subverts the liberties of our nation, those who would stand for freedom of conscience will be placed in unfavorable positions. For their own sake, they should, while they have opportunity, become intelligent in regard to disease, its cause, prevention, and cure. And what will that do? Those who do so will find a field of labor anywhere. We also know that the health message is the right arm of the message. Which message is that? Is the three angels message of Revelation 14, which announced the judgment hour. And this, you could say, is a type of, if you like, a kind of a cover up or an approach that we are told to do, is by wanting to reach out to the people. We have actually a plan, a strategic planning, which is to establish in the country better living centers. And the way we do so is by analyzing the population of each country where we want this program to be established. Very important to look at it and choose the country that's the most populated to get started. And there you will establish a restaurant and health center in the city. And then for your own sake and for the sake of your guests and for the sake of your trainee, you will have to have a place in the country as well where it's small and it can be purchased in the country. In the city, usually we lease, but in the country, you want to purchase it to be completely in control of your program, if you will. And this will be for the manager, the trainees, the elderly, the guests, for organic agriculture and small industries. Now, we will not go through the whole specific of the strategic planning because we have already posted, as you can see, in our menu of 144,000 teachers. Simply go to movement and you will find it there in many different countries that we have already worked with there at this for the trainees. And those who have been trained, you will do well to go over this particular strategic planning. This is not a program, it's a plan of action. And in order to really be successful, you need to follow it carefully, which means that it will provide you with means financially to be able to continue your work, and you will also be able to reach out to people, but it is definitely not under the same approach as establishing a church. We're not establishing churches and we're not training pastors. We're not a Bible school. We are basically a combination of the gospel, the 7S, the seven pillar of our faith, in what we believe as Christian, and also in bringing in a plan of action where you can definitely reach out and make a living out of this work. It's the gospel medical missionary work using the health message and using the plan as it has been presented in the writing of the Spirit of Prophecy. So this is the blueprint, you could say, that we are following. The blueprint of restaurant, conference room, treatment room, center in the country, greenhouse produce. So you can see there are many approaches that we can bring into this. You don't have to do them all, but at least you will have a plan of action that you can use once you have received your training. So for you to go home and attempt to set up now a conference and do the same that was given to you, well, this is not the plan. We have our trainers for that, but your approach is to now follow the strategic planning for your country or for your area. And you can do so by organizing with people who have been trained already, the same training as you have, and gather an action team because it's not possible to do it all alone. And with your action team, then that's when you can start doing these educational training program, professional development. You need to look into it. This is a business. So for you to come and just take the training and go home and be happy you have another certificate, well, you miss the point. This is a school that is intending to prepare people that can go out and establish these particular projects so that you can also make a living and at the same time be a good neighbor where you can definitely reach out for the gospel of Jesus Christ. So we're hoping that with this presentation, it will make it much more clear what is the purpose of our school and that you're not necessarily not permitted to do training in big group like you may have been trained yourself, but that's not the purpose of your training at this point. We did not start right away with conferences and thousands of people coming to our program. We have always insisted in doing small but many of these outreach so that everybody can do it and it's not difficult and it doesn't have to be a big outlay of money. Actually, if you have already a house in the country, you're blessed. And a piece of property, you're absolutely blessed. All what you need now is to put this into a context of helping others and serving others and teaching them agriculture. And then, if you're hopefully not too far from a town or a city, then get involved in the city with the ministry by establishing a little better living center to which you attach a little restaurant because people love eating. So then you can attract them and teach them good health through that particular approach. We were just showing you here in the section of the library in the menu where we have also an ultimate country living program, like the 8 country living skill that we teach here, to the 19 books. This you have to take time to look at these books. They're not very long, usually in pages, and they have a lot of picture, and they give you a complete approach, a beautiful approach as to what to do when you establish in the country for housing, water, food, many beautiful advice and suggestion, do it yourself suggestion, and also for greenhouses, for gardening, on how to do canning, to do preserve, and also for plants that you can eat in the forest, the wild food, country living medicine, excellent medical guide here, sanitization so that you avoid sicknesses, and many other wonderful advices, solar panels, wind turbines. So you can see here that we're a very practical group in a practical school. So what we would like to show you further is we have a series here of country living video, and that's how we call our plan, Ultimate Country Living. So here we have the video to go with it. If you like to look at it, we encourage small but many. So it is not that you have to follow exactly this plan. If you have a big house, it's fine. But we rather like to show the people that it can be done on a small scale, not with a large expense of money. And especially in some countries where there are not so many red tape, you're really blessed because then you can really establish a place where you can teach people now to move to the country and start their own country living program and then expand into an outreach as well. Better living centers where you can invite some guests, you can teach them nutrition. I wouldn't recommend right away that you get involved with cancer patient and all the big diseases. We are lifestyle educator, and our main teaching as far as health is that it's better to prevent than to cure. So don't get involved with a big health center full of sick people. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to teach people how to care for themselves so they do not need treatments. So you will learn how to use the plants as well for eating and preserve, as you can see here, beautiful jars all done, and many other instruction that you may never have known before. So we encourage you to visit our library with these important instruction. And also country living is our ultimate country living is our plan of action for these days ahead. As we can see all what is happening in the world today, we cannot be blind. And you want to make sure to also look at these important studies that you may have missed actually with the movement, the lesson that we have given to the training. These are additional teaching, and you want to look at it and be wise and understand before you even start presenting it to the people. And be wise also that you don't throw everything in the face of the people and scare them away. The best approach is to be discreet. The best approach is to not go and tell everybody, the pastor, the member of the church, or whatever, we have learned this and we've got to change now, and there is a calendar. And no, you're supposed to be discreet and not bring trouble before the time of trouble. And I know there is a lot of people who have a lot of enthusiasm and they think we're wrong. Well, enthusiasm without experience can get you killed. And we're talking seriously here. So please make sure you understand the concept of 144000teachers.org. It is not a program that is supposed to bring trouble, and we are not there to contradict those who have never done it before and why did they not do it or taught us to do it. We're not here to judge anybody, to reproach to anybody. And what they say is very simple: take what you need and leave the rest if there are things you do not believe in or appreciate. But at the same time, don't cause trouble. And like we said, many people think that they're being persecuted when in fact they did a bit like Moses at the rock when he was supposed to speak to the rock and knock it out instead. Well, he spoke unadvisedly, the Bible said. And we must watch what we talk about, what we speak about, because we do not want to, destroy this work before it has accomplished its purpose. So we encourage you to be faithful and study, study, study in order to understand the concept and the principles of 144,000 teachers, for which you may not have been trained yet and may be interested. Do not just get excited. Check it all out. And if it's not for you, do not even approach it. But if you are already trained, you owe it to the program, to the school, and to those who have taught you to follow, as we said, this very, very important material that we have just showed you, which is the strategic planning. This is the basis. So perhaps we apologize. Maybe we should have started with that maybe what we should do, we should put section number 12 before section number 1, so that you may know that this is very, very, very important to follow this particular approach here with the strategic planning, which you may say that's not having to do with Christianity. You may say it's just business then. Well, you have to be wise. Like Mrs. White says, those who pray all the time, sometimes they're very heavenly good, but they're no earthly good. We need to be heavenly good and earthly good. We're still on this planet Earth, and we still have our 2 feet on the ground while we're keeping our eyes towards heaven. So may the Lord bless you and cause his face to shine upon you and give you peace. Until you have question and until hopefully we can answer, please pray and make sure you understand the concept and understand what is the point of being trained under 144,000 teachers. Thank you for your attention.